Welcome back to Excuse My Grandma. This week it is just Kim, no Grandma Gail, because I'm doing an interview with a cast member of one of my favorite shows, Love Island USA. It was so good this season. By the way, if you don't already follow Excuse My Grandma, make sure you're pressing the follow button. Whether you're listening on Apple, Spotify, it's in the little corner. And also follow us on social media. My personal is Kim Merstein. Otherwise, we're Excuse My Grandma, and our podcast is every Thursday. So I'm doing this episode without Grandma because she basically shits on my love for reality TV. And every time I bring it up, she's like, I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, which sometimes is funny. But in this case, I want to get really in the weeds with our guest. Elan Bibas was a late addition to season 7 of Love Island USA. He came in Casa Amor. He was a bombshell. And then he was eliminated a week or so after he came. He did go into the main villa, so he met everybody and he was super involved and we love him. So he was born in Canada, lives in Miami. He has lots of thoughts on dating, so we're going to welcome him to the show. Elan, welcome to Excuse My Grandma.
Thanks for having me.
I don't even recognize you with a shirt on. It's like a whole new thing.
And the bathing suit?
Yeah, and the bathing suit.
I should have come in that.
I feel like packing was I'm always packing with my grandma and, like, going different places, and she's helping me with the outfits. Do you feel like you packed appropriately?
I think what most people don't realize is they gave me, like, 2 days notice.
Oh.
So I didn't have that much time to put everything together. I kinda just threw everything that I owned into 2 bags and went for it.
That's actually crazy because I heard from other podcasts and things that people were kind of quarantined in a
Yeah.
hotel before. So did you have to do quarantined, not quarantined, stuck in a
Pretty
hotel,
much,
whatever?
Yeah, I had to do that. I think, like, the goal is they wanna put you in at the time that makes the most amount of sense
Mhm.
based off of romantic interest and all that stuff.
Okay, right.
So they'll bring you in and they're waiting to find the right time. For me, that took 3.5 weeks.
You were in a hotel for 3.5 weeks?
Yeah. With
With
no
no phone?
phone, nothing, yeah.
What did you do?
I spent a lot of time reading. I read 8 books. I,
Good for you. I was like, what did you do? It sounds like the worst thing ever. And it's like, there was a time with no phones
Yeah,
where you
I'm
could
like
actually do things.
well, I made the conscious decision because I knew I was gonna have some time in there, that I wanted to use it as a time for myself, that I could be like, when else are you gonna have a time where you have
Yeah.
literally no responsibilities, completely disconnected from the outside world, and you're able to just go inwards and do anything that you want?
Mhm.
So I spent the time, like, reading, meditating, journaling, like, all of the
Good
stuff, and then
for
watching,
you.
obviously, a little bit of Netflix and stuff too, but
Okay, nice. Tell our audience like a good book recommendation that you read.
A good book recommendation. Okay, I feel like everyone talks about this book, but I hadn't read it until those weeks that I was there, The Alchemist,
Oh, yeah.
and at
I
that
read that in
point
like 5th grade.
right?
Yeah.
So many people have read it, and they've talked about how much of a pivotal book it is for them in their life, and I just so happened to read it at a time in my life that was also very pivotal,
Mm,
and it was just, like, synced up so well, so that book resonated with me so deeply at that moment.
I love that. Okay, so I want to get into your time after the villa,
Okay.
but first let's talk like Love Island while you're there. Also, for people who listen to us, because we have a lot of like moms and grandmas or girls who are constantly talking about Love Island and guys who like don't know how to explain it to their parents and grandparents, how would you describe to someone over 50 what Love Island is?
Oh, okay, that's an interesting question. I would say it's kind of like, one of your more typical dating shows meets a social experiment
Mhm.
almost. For those that are in, like, a little bit of the older audience, I think it would probably be more similar to how dating maybe was back then, where you don't have phones, you're really focused on spending intentional time with the people there, and also you just so happen to be locked in a house with them.
Yeah. And you're in Fiji.
Yeah, beautiful weather,
Yeah.
beautiful place. Yeah.
Mhm. I think that's a pretty good explanation. It's not rocket science, like,
Yeah.
hot people on an island dating each other, like, that's what everyone says, but it's true.
Mhm.
So how did you initially get casted for the show?
They sent me back in January, they sent me a DM. I honestly thought it was like a joke.
Yeah.
My reply to the DM was, I've never seen this show before, but if that's not a problem for you guys, I'm interested,
Yeah,
in
they
at least
probably
having
love
a
that.
conversation. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think they really want people that are as authentic as possible, so if
Right.
you don't know the show or you've never really heard of it, I think that's usually a plus.
Mhm.
I kind of went through the interview process not thinking that I was gonna be casted because I'm at least from the little bit of reality TV that I've seen, I'm, like, very different from what I've seen in those people
Why
before.
do you say that?
I think the reality TV that I've seen is, like, very, like, Jersey Shore and things like
Yeah,
that,
okay.
whereas I'm like, I work a corporate job,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm like, a lot of the work I do is very geeky, I'm an AI, I'm an engineer, like, they wouldn't and I don't drink at all.
Mhm.
I party very little, and I'm very much a one person kind of guy. Like, I really focus on one
Interesting.
person at a time.
Okay.
I won't date around. Um, so I'm like, "Oh, there's no way they're gonna cast me," but it'll be a funny story to tell that I've gone through this interview
Yeah.
process, right? Um,
Process, I hear the Canadian now.
that's the
Yeah,
Canadian.
yeah, yeah.
Everyone always calls that out. But so I went through it not thinking much of it, and then eventually, I didn't hear anything for a few months, and then I get a call saying, "Hey, at the end of this week, could you fly to LA for an in-person conversation?"
Hmm.
I was like, "Okay, I guess we're gonna do this. This will just be again another fun part of the process." Um, and I went in with 0 expectations, just thought, "I'm gonna have fun. They're not gonna cast me. It's
Yeah.
whatever." And I think because I went in with no expectations, I had a lot of fun there in the
Yeah, it's so
conversation.
true. When you're nervous for something and it's so
Exactly.
important to you, like, you might freak out and not be your true self. So
Exactly.
that's I don't know if the advice is, like, don't care when you're going into something, but it's like, don't act like it's end all be all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like the what's meant to be is meant to be,
Yes.
and just have faith in the process.
Mhm.
And there I go saying process again,
It's okay.
but
Sorry I called it out.
no, it's all good.
Okay, and then it just worked out.
Yeah, I got the call a couple weeks after that saying, "Come out," and I just decided this will be a like, obviously, I was looking for a romantic partner at the time,
Mhm.
so I thought it was perfect alignment with that,
Mhm.
and on top of that, I always love to take fun adventures. I do that in many different ways in my personal life, so this is just another fun side quest for me.
Yeah, I love that. And now that you have gone through the whole process, like, do you think you'll watch Love Island going forward?
That's a good
Like, you weren't a
question.
fan before, but you have to be a fan now.
I think I'm gonna have to try it and see,
Mhm.
but it's also, like, once you've been on it and you see how everything happens,
So true. Maybe it's too close to home.
yeah, it just feels a little bit different. I'll have to let you know next season.
Yeah, yeah, please do. Did you watch your own season?
We had to watch bits and
Okay.
pieces. Yeah, so leading up to actually going in, you're
Mhm.
watching some of the episodes to say
Oh,
who you might
right.
be romantically interested in and so on and so forth. Um, but and then we had to watch a couple of our clips of what we were in, but that's pretty much it. So
Yeah.
I haven't seen everything.
So you're basically waiting and you're gonna say to because I love the behind the scenes of it all.
Okay.
Like, you're waiting to tell the producer, like, "I like that girl." Like, "Put me in, coach."
Yep. Yep. I literally
Wow.
wrote those exact words, put me on on the notes that I was giving back to them.
That's so crazy. So you were coupled up with Sierra,
Mhm.
so that's when you felt like you wanted to go in to, like, be with her, or were there a few girls you had your eye on?
I mean, they as you're watching every episode, you have to
Mhm.
like give them who you're interested in.
Oh, okay.
So they're always expressing interest, but obviously you're more interested in some over the other.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning, I was obviously like I was actually interested in Bella when I was first writing my
Mm.
notes, but
So
obviously she
early.
left the show early.
Yeah.
So then it ended up being Sierra that I was put in for,
Interest
yeah.
Wow, so you had to wait that long. That is so crazy. But I feel like it all worked out. You made a lot of good friends in the
Yes.
process.
Mhm.
Now that you're in the real world, are you still looking to date?
Yeah, I think like that was my intention going in, so it'd be
Mhm.
crazy for me not to be open to that afterwards. Things have kind of started to happen a little bit. Obviously, I'm still exploring romantic connections and there's been some opportunities to
Mhm.
explore it, I guess, after coming off of the show.
What does that mean? Like a lot of girls reaching out?
Um, Obviously there's been like people reaching out, but
Mhm.
I would say like there was someone's caught my attention, that's
Oh,
all I'll say.
good. That's exciting. I also feel like I forgot where I saw that you said this, but that you're a hopeless romantic.
Oh yeah.
So am I. What does that mean to you?
That's a good question. I think historically it's meant more like I love doing big gestures for someone. I care very deeply about people and I'll be very intentional with if I
Mhm.
know that they like certain things. But as I've gotten older, I've honestly realized the hopeless romantic kinda comes a little bit more in some of those smaller moments where you can really show love and care for someone by getting them a coffee, even if you're, like, on the other side of the US and you send them a coffee via Uber Eats or
That's
something like that.
cute.
There's so many
Have you done that?
of
That's
course,
so
yeah.
nice.
That, flowers, it's all these, like, little things that you can do to brighten someone's day on a more
Mhm.
day-to-day basis. Very small things that I feel like is how I now express my hopeless romantic, and even the way that I like to spend time with someone. It's like if we can sit down at a coffee shop and do some work together, if we can go out on, like, a walk together, like, it's really the little moments for me that I
Yeah.
think have become more important now.
And by the way, like, most girls I know love that kinda shit, so it's like, why don't guys do it? They know that the girl will like it. So, like, I feel like there's so many circumstances where you have an opportunity to send flowers or send a coffee. Why not take it? Like, why don't some of your friends or some of the guys in the villa, like, who wouldn't remember to make a coffee in the morning or something, like, what was the reason, do you think?
I think well, inside the villa, it's a different circumstance because it's a very stressful environment. I think that's another
Mm,
thing that a lot of people don't realize.
yeah.
I know there was a meme circulating of me, like, on, like, the first night that I was in there lying in bed like this, and they're like, "Does he sleep like this?" And I was
Right.
just so stressed that
Your
I
mind
couldn't
is
s
running.
exactly, I couldn't
Yeah.
sleep at all. And I think because of that, a lot of things fall through the cracks. People are obviously looking to take care of themselves as well as find that romantic interest.
Mhm.
Um, but I would say, like, outside of it, I'm very intentional with who I choose to surround myself with, and a lot of the guys that I surround myself with behave very much in a similar manner to myself.
Yeah.
Um, but I think a lot of it is just like could be dependent on how you were brought up, the relationships that you've had in the past.
True.
And I think a lot of guys feel like it has to be the big gestures, and that's really what they try to focus on instead of the little day-to-day things.
Yeah.
And I think if we talked about it a little bit more
Yeah.
and people communicate a little bit more, they'd realize that it's really those small, beautiful things and those
Mhm.
intentional moments you get to spend with someone that matter
Yeah.
the most.
Love that. So when you're going into the villa, do you feel like were you thinking of, "Okay, I have a strategy here," or not even, like, in a game playing way,
Mhm.
just, like, how am I gonna conduct myself and who am I gonna go after? Like, what is your thought process?
I So my main thing is I want it to be open to the experience completely. I think it's a very unique experience, and so to close myself off and say I'm only gonna go for this specific person or
Mhm.
this type of person, I think kind of ruins the experience.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful time to experiment and try things that you would maybe not typically try and really experiment with it. Um, so I obviously wanted to go in with an open mind. And then on top of that, I think the number one most important thing for me there was just to maintain my authenticity. I feel very happy with the fact that I had a strong sense of identity before going in. I
Yeah.
really knew who I was. I had a strong idea of what my values were. And if I could maintain that for the whole show, I wanted to be able to come off and all my friends and family tell me, you were the exact same person on
Good,
there as you
yeah.
are here, you know?
Speaking of friends and family, obviously, I do this podcast and our social media with my grandma typically, so I'm constantly getting her feedback on my life.
Mhm.
What was the feedback when they were watching or when you came home? Like, the fact that you even went on the show, but also, like, the heart rate challenge and things that are a little bit more risque.
I'm like my family is super supportive even before going on the show, like, I was nervous, I was asking them, like, "Should I do this? Like, is
Yeah.
this a wild thing to do?" They were like I have a very adventurous family. We grew up traveling and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and so they always push for do the thing that's adventure, that's gonna give you the more
That's so
stories and memories to
nice.
share.
What is that like? I literally like but the thing is, I was just gonna say I have a Jewish grandma, like, I have a
Okay.
Jewish mom, like, they're overly involved. They're gonna say, like, "Why would you do that?" and be crazy, like, "But
Mhm.
you're Jewish."
Mhm.
Like, but I guess they don't have that,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
over involvement.
definitely an over-involvement,
Okay.
but, like, over-involvement especially in pushing you to pursue things that are either somewhat aligned or that they feel will give you the adventure. Like my parents grew up traveling all that's like how they fell in love was just
Mm.
traveling and doing all these beautiful adventures. And so they really push us to do the same. They push us to like my brother did a study abroad program. My brother's actually in London now. My sister lives in
Oh.
Belgium doing a
Oh, wow.
PhD. I moved to the US.
So
Like
you're
they're
all
always yeah,
scattered. Yeah.
exactly.
Wow. By the way, do you consider yourself a nice Jewish boy?
Honestly, I hadn't even heard of that term until I got off the show, and it's, like, all
Really?
over my pages. I guess it's not really a big thing in
I
Canada,
guess
maybe?
it's
I'm
like
not
an
sure.
American thing.
Yeah, but I had heard that after, and I was like, I honestly, I'm not even really fully sure what it
What it
means, but
is. It's just like a mensch. It's like someone
a
who
mesh.
which
That I know.
okay, same exact thing. No wrong answers.
I feel like I try to hold myself in a way that's aligned with, like, my values and the way that I choose to carry myself, I
Mhm.
think is the thing. It's I don't know what everyone else's definition of it would be, but as long as
Right.
I feel like I'm aligned with who I wanna be, then
That
I'm
was a nice
happy.
Jewish boy answer, so I'm gonna take that as a yes. Also when I saw a video you posted with your dad reacting to you
I
being
didn't post
back.
that video, I wanna
Oh,
be
he
very clear.
posted
My
it?
no, my brother was
Okay.
running my social media while I was
Oh,
gone.
yeah.
I put him in charge, he's, like, very good at that kinda stuff,
Mhm.
and he's the person I trust most in the world,
So nice.
and, and to my surprise, when I got out, he had, like, my mom reviewing videos, my sister, my dad, like, I'm
Wow.
like, he went off.
That is so funny. What was the craziest or, like, funniest video that he posted, do you think?
The funniest video that he posted. Honestly, I thought it was really funny when I came out and I realized that he had made, like, so many memes of the different, like, shots of me, like, the one with me with my
Yeah.
eyes open, like, different pictures of me throughout the
Mhm.
show and my experience, and I'm, I guess, a very expressive person with my face. So, all of those were just so funny to
Mhm.
see.
What about your coworkers? I also saw you did a video, like, reading Slacks when you got
Yep.
home, which was so funny. Um, so you were working in, like, tech?
Yeah.
Okay.
I work in technology and management consulting.
Okay. Plans to go back? I mean, this really
Yeah.
switches things up, so I feel like a lot of people then, whatever their job was, they're like, "Okay, now full-time content creator." What do you think in there?
So, I think for me, I mean, I come from a background in engineering.
Yeah.
I've, like, built AI startups in the past, and I obviously love the world of, like, tech.
Mhm.
For me, I really need to feel that, like, intellectual
Yeah.
challenge. So I think it's always gonna be a part of my life. I'm actually still employed with my employer, and I do have
Oh, good.
plans on going back because
Okay.
I love the work that I do. So yeah, I was very happy that I could have and maintain that relationship with my work while doing this opportunity.
Yeah, my grandma, if she was on the couch with me, would be like, "Don't throw that away, an engineering background, like, you have to go back."
Classic, yeah, that's
Yeah.
my parents shared a very similar sentiment.
Yeah.
It's like, I wanna try to explore both. I've always been the person where, in addition to my day job, I always have side ventures and things that I'm exploring.
Mhm.
Prior to doing this whole crazy Love Island experience, I was already making content
Yes.
in the health and wellness space, mental health, and doing my ultra marathons, all of that. I plan to continue to make content in that
Good.
area that it aligns with my goal of just trying to help more people live happier and healthier lives.
Yeah, I love that. You've also posted the curl routine, which
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen. Your hair looks great.
Thank you so much.
How did you deal with the Fiji humidity and, like, doing your hair every day?
Honestly, it was challenging. There's definitely some pictures that you see where my hair is like poof. Um, yeah, the Jufro really comes out.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But it's actually funny when I was getting sick and tired of my hair and I couldn't handle when the days were really humid,
Mhm.
is actually the days where you guys saw me do the slick back.
I think so.
I was like, I'm so done with, like, my hair being all in my face, and I just ran the product through my hair, and I had no idea that that was gonna be, like, a whole thing when I came out after.
What product are you using to do that?
I used, like, uh, what's it called? Like a pomade or
Right,
something?
right,
Yeah,
okay.
just like a it was a clay from a company called Highland, ran
Okay.
it through my hair, and that was it.
Wow,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, because I feel like is that what you also use to do your curls and you're just using more of it, or that's a different
Different product.
okay.
Yeah, I've tried a bunch of different things out. The thing that I'm actually using right now, a company sent it to me, is called
Mhm.
Wavy. It's
Okay.
actually from Al Booker, who's a previous Love Islander.
I was gonna bring him up
Yeah.
because you have to have gotten that you look alike and you're both in the Love Island universe. It's really the hair.
Do you want a funny story?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so probably like 3 years ago, I was in Montreal, thrift shopping, and I walk into a thrift store, and the person who's running the thrift store tells me, "You look exactly like this person from Love Island,
Yeah.
da da da." It's Al Booker. And so I follow him on Instagram because he does fashion stuff, and I loved his sense of style and
Mhm.
hair and everything.
Totally.
So I've been following him for like 3 years, not knowing that eventually I'm gonna be on the
Of
show.
course.
Now he and I are obviously connected, and it's just
You
so
need to do
wild.
something together.
I think so too.
So, I guess you did know of Love Island 'cause of him,
I didn't know him from Love Island, like,
just
they
as an
mentioned
influencer
that,
kind of
but,
thing.
like, I was
Yeah.
only following him for the fashion content that
Yeah,
he
yeah,
does
yeah.
and all the other things that I enjoy.
That's so funny.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like now you've probably been connected with a lot of people from the Love Island universe right? Or is it mostly still your season?
I've connected with a few other people, but it's
Mhm.
mostly my season.
Yeah.
And then I've used it as a good opportunity. I've connected with a lot of people that I was already following before, like big runners and people in
Mm.
those spaces.
You have a
That I
platform now, like, that you're
exactly.
yeah.
They've recently reached out to me and like, hey, let's connect, da da da. And I really enjoy that because if I can do more runs, more ultra marathons,
Of
more of the things
course.
that I enjoy with people that I enjoy, I think
Mhm.
that's amazing. It's a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
I wanna hear more about, like, behind the scenes.
Okay.
How were producers involved? For example, I always wonder this, when you're doing a recoupling and there's, like, the pause before you say who you're gonna couple up with, are they saying, like, "Wait, okay, now go?" Like, how are they kinda running the show?
I feel like people think that it could be, like, scripted or
Yeah.
highly involved, but all the moments that you guys see are exactly what we wanna be saying in those moments. Like,
Mhm.
it's fully up to us to say exactly what we wanna say and, like, how we say it and everything as well. So,
Yeah,
the
I
moments that you
believe
see
it.
yeah.
Like, it's all so authentic to me.
Mhm,
I just feel like there has to be some like, "Okay, everyone go now sit around the fire pit." Is it really that you're getting a text that's saying to
mhm.
do that?
Yeah.
So no one's saying, "Okay, now, like, ushering you to sit in this order," none of that.
I think that there's naturally, like, some level of coordination. I think
Yeah,
that's what
right.
makes the show
Coordination.
so like, it is the biggest show in the space.
Mhm.
And I think it is that way because the people are so authentic, the moments that you see are so authentic, and then there is a level of coordination that keeps, a very cohesive storyline going, right?
Mhm. And do you have off days?
Yeah, there's a few moments, like, naturally, like anyone, you need some days where you
Yeah,
you just take a lot of naps,
yeah.
you know?
Okay, so it's more like chilling around and there's no cameras on those days.
It's days where we're basically taking naps,
Mhm,
resting, recovering.
mhm,
Mental health is very important, not only to like us, but also to the show. And
mhm.
so they make sure that we're taken care of in that way.
Okay, good, I'm glad.
Yeah.
'Cau I always wonder, like, what if someone says something when a camera isn't there that is then important to
No, they
a
make sure that that never happens.
okay,
Yeah.
very interesting. I wanted to ask also, when you were coupled up with Sierra, I think it was, you were like, "Oh, I always date Libras." Are you into the zodiacs?
I'm honestly not super into it. I don't know much about it. It's just a pattern that I've somewhat noticed in some of the previous relationships that I've been in.
Mhm.
That just so happens to be the case. It's
Yeah,
not a rule, but it is a pattern that was beautifully brought up in that
yeah,
moment too.
yeah. What are you?
I'm a Leo.
You're a
Yeah.
Leo. Okay, interesting. Are Leos and Libras even compatible?
I don't know, you'd have to tell me that, do you know?
No, I don't I only know for myself, so
What are
I'm a
you?
Pisces.
And what are you compatible with?
Cancer and Scorpio, like the
Okay,
other water
only 2
signs.
options.
I think so. I don't really know. I mean, like, I was in LA the other day and I did a tarot card reading,
Yep.
and that is the most LA thing I'll ever say. Um, and I learned a lot about, like, numerology and stuff, and I actually
Yeah.
thought it was interesting, like, I wanna learn more about it, but I was hoping you would be the guru today, but I think we're equally
Mm,
lost in this.
exactly.
Um, okay, so life after the villa, um, who are you still hanging out with? Who are you chatting to from the cast?
I think I have a pretty good relationship with everyone. Obviously, when I got out, there was only a number of people that were out at the same time.
Right, okay.
So those people I ended up spending some time with when I was in LA as well.
Mhm.
And so we've developed like deeper relationships. Obviously, I have a really strong bromance with Zach, JD as well.
Yeah.
Um, and then when some other people came out, we obviously had I actually had a birthday a couple weekends ago, so a bunch of people flew in
Oh,
for the
happy
birthday. Yeah, thank
birthday.
you
How
very
old
much.
did you turn?
25.
Oh my god, you're a baby.
Everyone says that after.
I don't know what I thought you were, but I wasn't expecting
Yeah,
25.
people often don't
Wow,
think
okay.
that.
That's a big birthday.
Yeah, yeah.
It's exciting.
It was honestly like such a I was planning on just like having some friends all crash at a house together.
Mhm.
And then when I came off the show, I had an opportunity to do a big thing for my birthday. So I decided to just go as big as I can in a way where I could give back to all of my friends and family who
So
supported me through the
nice.
whole process as much as possible. And so everyone had such a unique and wild weekend together. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Some of the girls I've seen have gone on other podcasts. Did you listen to any of those interviews? Like, do you see their press at all?
I gotta be honest,
Okay. I'm just curious because I also thought I heard that there was, like, beef between a few, and so I didn't know if you were like, "Oh, that's totally fake," or not.
No, I think, like, I mean, a lot of the things are things that just, like, happen on the show, right? And people just wanna talk it out after,
Yeah,
like anyone.
of course, makes sense. So you had the reunion. It hasn't aired yet. What were, like, your thoughts going in? Was there something you're like, "I need to get it off my chest," or just open to anything?
I was open to anything. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't really have, uh, yeah, much to get off my chest or say, really.
Who hosted Ariana and Andy Cohen?
I don't
Or was it
know
just
what I can say, to be honest with you.
really? Okay. Anything you can and can't say, like, we'll chat offline. I wanted to get into our segment, The Drama Club. So, just getting your thoughts on some pop culture moments.
Okay.
Taylor Swift's new album, are you a Swiftie?
Can't say that I am.
Can't say that I am.
Okay.
She announced it, and it's my entire social feed. And I don't really care, and I don't want people to come after me.
No, I people are diehard Swiftie
Why?
fans. Yeah, they will pass, especially in Canada too, pass a lot of judgment if you don't like her.
Like, what is that about? Like, you can't come after people just because they're not obsessed.
I don't know. I mean, I think she is, an incredible businesswoman and
Yeah,
artist, and the way she's able to put things
100% agree.
together and, like, yeah, it's incredible what she's able to do.
Mhm.
I just think, like, different music vibes with different people.
Yeah, true. She went on her boyfriend's podcast, like, with the Kelsey brothers, and people were like, "Oh my god, Taylor Swift's doing a podcast," which I guess is a big deal. Are you a
Is that the
fan of
first podcast she's ever done?
I don't know if it's the first, but I think it's definitely the first in a while, or maybe it is the first ever. Um, but I thought it was, like, wild that, um, people were like I don't even know if the podcast has actually come out yet. I really don't know anything about this.
I mean, I think it's really cool that she chose to do it with that's her boyfriend, right? Her boyfriend's, podcast. I think
Yes. That's
you can
fun.
have that in a relationship where you're
Mm.
able to, like, work together and also maintain the relationship and have that beautiful thing. I think that's amazing.
That is my dream. Like, my boyfriend's sort of in media, and I was like, "Why can't you quit your job and just, like, you and I start a company in the space?" And, like, I think that would be so much fun.
I agree. I think that's, like, the dream. Someone that you can create with is just such a beautiful way to experience a relationship, and I think
Yeah.
it's like there's levels to love, and if you can create and accomplish together, I think that's a very high order of relationship.
Mhm. I also think, especially in a space that's, like, so creative,
Mhm.
trusting someone and, like, being able to bounce off of each other is so rare. So, I don't know, because a lot of people are like, "How could you ever work with a partner?" And even with me and my grandma, they're like, "Working with family? Like, that's so taboo." But I think it's so much better.
I agree. I mean, I've always my brother and I have, like, done some different
Mhm.
businesses in the past, and he is always the person that I would love to start businesses with because I trust him more than anything else.
Mhm.
Like, I
It's so
I'm
nice.
not I will never split financial things with him or anything. I'm just like, "Let's just do it however it's done, doesn't matter what's happening," right?
Yeah. Okay, now let's move on to our segment, The Grandma Report.
Mhm.
So there's this article about why we keep watching reality dating shows. A BU sociologist say that people love aspirational romance and feel good escapism, and they also love predicting outcomes. So looking back at your season, do you think, like, when you were there, did you feel like you knew who contestants would be rooting for or, like, attaching themselves to in that way?
Honestly, no. I think everyone was so focused on their own experience that,
Mhm.
like, it's hard to think of who do we think is gonna be the most popular or anything. Like, you're just focused on your time
Yeah.
in the villa, making your connections, supporting your friends, doing whatever you can. So,
Mhm.
that really I don't think that crossed anyone's mind until the America voting, challenge, and then
Yeah.
all of
How
a
late was
sudden
that into the game?
I'm honestly not sure. But that I think was the only time that we really got to see some other kind of outside perspective, but
Yeah.
even then, after that, I just carried myself with
That's
the same way
good.
that I wanted to carry myself.
That's good. Do you think anyone changed up their ways? Like, I feel like, especially with Amaya, and I heard her saying, like, in podcasts and things that she's been on, she was like, "I for sure could tell once she was voted, like, top, girl or whatever it was, that people were acting a little different toward her. Did you see that with your other you were really focused on yourself. I'm so impressed.
Yeah, I wasn't really focused on anything else,
Yeah.
and I didn't really notice that much of a difference, to be
Mhm.
honest, in how anyone was carrying themselves. Everyone was very focused on their own
That's
experience
nice.
too, at least from my side.
Yeah. Okay, we have some questions from our listeners. So let's go through a few. Okay. Is it okay to go 50-50 on everything with your boyfriend? Thoughts?
I actually do have a very strong take on this. So I believe that there's like really three things that you can invest in a relationship. There's
Mhm.
time, money, and energy. And I think the 50-50 should come across all three of those things.
Love that.
Sometimes people don't have the capacity to give a lot of money, but you can give time or energy. Um, and I also think 50-50 doesn't necessarily happen in a moment, but also over time.
Of
So as
course.
long as you're looking at it within those scales, I think you should be looking for an even relationship, but across those multiple dimensions. Otherwise, if you just limit it to money, then it's a financial relationship, right?
Yeah, and I guess it traditionally,
Mhm.
like, it used to be a little bit more that way, like, if you go way back, like, marriage was a business deal, and
Mhm.
obviously it's not like that today. I think my grandma typically is like, the guy should pay for the date, and that's how she thinks of
I
things.
think if you ask someone out on a date, you should definitely pay.
I think you're right, it's the person who's doing the asking, which typically in, like, a heteronormative relationship, it's the guy at first, like, making that first move. Um, so I definitely feel that way, but I think you're so right, and I'm gonna go by that from now on, because that is true, like, there's so many things that go into a relationship, and
Mhm.
there should be energy and time from both sides
Of
as well.
course, yeah. It's like being intentional and investing the time into someone and really showing up to on a date with, like, energy.
Yep.
It's like, I will appreciate that so much more than splitting it 50-50. If you come with energy, like, that's gonna be a way more enjoyable experience in my time too.
So true, and, like, if there's a guy who comes in and is paying for everything, but he's not, like, mentally there and he doesn't give a fuck, like, you are gonna not be happy.
Exactly.
So, yeah, everyone listen to that advice, that's very good. Um, okay, how this is a question about how to attract the best guy in the room. I don't know what the best even really means, but
Best for you.
best for you, like, the one you want, how do you get his attention? I
How do you
never
usually do it?
found an answer for this
What's
one.
your approach?
I think my approach would be for the people I'm hanging out with, like, actually be present with them and, like, look like you're having a good time or actually have a good time because that energy is gonna, like, radiate off of you, and then hopefully that guy comes over versus, like I still do this, especially, like, if I wanna meet a business person in the room or, like, whoever it is, sometimes I stand around and I'm, like, thinking, "How am I gonna go over to them? When is my time?" And when you're doing that, you don't look approachable.
Mhm.
So I think, like, actually have fun and don't even pay it too much attention. Or don't be scared and, like, go over to them. And I
I
think that's
agree.
attractive too, sometimes to, like, be open and nice and not play hard to get in that moment.
For sure. I think both is honestly the answer. Like, you should be having an enjoyable time, and, like, I
Mhm.
think that people will sense that in the room, exactly like you said.
Mhm.
But I also do think, like, for me, it's like a instead of hesitating and thinking what you're gonna say, just count down 3, 2, 1, and go over and start a conversation. And I think going in without any expectations of, "Oh, I need this to be, like, my person," and it's
Right,
just go
exactly.
have a conversation, see if you even enjoy it. I think so many people go in with, like, "I need to make them like me," but you
Uh-huh.
should be going in and seeing, "Do I actually like them? Am I enjoying this conversation? Do I want it to continue? Would I like to go on a date with this person?" If you haven't had a conversation, you don't know the
You
answer
don't
to any
yeah,
of that, right?
yeah, totally agree. Okay, last one. Should I send a post-breakup text? Not going to get back together, but just to say this meant a lot to me, etcetera.
That's a hard one.
I know, and it's probably, like, was the breakup amicable or was it, like, a whole blow up?
Yeah,
Because that
super
really
dependent on the
matters.
relationship.
Um, I think my immediate thing was, like, "It's done, it's deaded, like, leave it," but also, I think if you're gonna think about it and ruminate on it for the next few weeks, like, just send the text. Don't even ask questions, but just be like, "I'm sorry," or not maybe not even, "I'm sorry," but like, really, like, loved our time together and I wish you the best, like,
Mhm.
short and sweet, but I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, I actually agree with you. I think, like, as much as possible, if you can resolve it yourself first through other different, like, modalities like journaling or
Yeah.
meditating or talking to your
Therapy.
therapist if you have
Mhm.
one, I think those are, like, great ways to resolve it, and then if it's still something that's on your mind and you still don't feel resolved, then, yeah, do what you need to do that'll make you feel at peace and be able to move forwards, right?
Mhm.
Because that's the goal at the end of the day.
Yeah. I'm feeling the, like, health and wellness radiating off of you now. Now I'm like, "Okay, you're putting it to practice, and it's very valid, like, everything you're saying." Now we are gonna end the episode with the Grandma Gail's old-fashioned dating quiz. So it's a quick round of yes or no questions, and we'll figure out whether you're more, like, traditional in dating or more modern when it comes to your thinking.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather receive a call or a text from your partner if it's just to say hi?
Call, always.
Okay. Would you sleep with someone on the first date?
No.
Dating apps or setups?
Setups, yeah, setups for sure.
Are you on apps?
No.
Okay. Never? Like, even before?
Like, back when I was in college
Yeah.
probably, but
Okay.
since then, no, I'm very
Interesting.
intentional with
Yeah.
I think, like, when you're dating, I mean, you really have 2 options. Either you can just play the numbers game and go on as many dates as possible, or you can
Mhm.
be really intentional with your time. I care a lot about where I spend my time between the fitness stuff and the work and all the other things,
Yep.
that, like, I would rather give less of my time to the right people than to give more of my time to everyone.
I love that. I wish I thought that way, but when I was dating, I think I would go on, like, 4 or 5 dates a week just to be like, I'm meeting someone new. Like, I wasn't even
Mhm.
really treating it as dating.
Yeah, it's like shots on goal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's also, like, I could have probably been spending the time doing things that I like to do, but I kinda do like to date.
I no,
Sorry to
I
my boyfriend.
no, I totally get that. My advice to friends when we talk about the same subject is like, if you're spending your time in places that you enjoy, be more present in those places and pay attention to the people that are around you, because likely those will be better candidates for you to date than a random person on a dating app where you get to see 3 photos and 3 prompts.
Yeah,
Like,
probably. Would you move in together before getting engaged or wait until, like, you're engaged or married to live together?
I think moving in is an important step before you get married.
Agreed. Um, should you ask for their parents' permission before getting engaged, or is that outdated?
I think it's a very nice thing to do. I think that would be my approach.
Mhm. Okay, last one. Should you pick the ring before with your partner before engagement or, like, it's a surprise?
I would probably at least try to get an idea of what they want
Yeah.
before. I love surprises, but, like, I also wanna make sure she's happy with it, and I gotta be honest, I don't know that much about
Yeah,
rings.
yeah, yeah. Fair. I think you're definitely more traditional. Is that a
Cool.
surprise?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I like to take things slow, like I was saying at the beginning, I'm a
Mhm.
one person, I
Yeah,
don't date at the multiple people at the same
yeah.
time, so
I think a lot of people will be surprised to learn that about you just based off of
the
a
fact
show
that I
where you're
went on the
supposed to,
show,
like,
yeah.
get to know
That's
people.
why it was a very interesting side quest for me, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for
no,
coming
thank you so
on
much for having me.
today. The reunion is August 25th,
Mhm.
9 PM on Peacock. So since we didn't get all the details, we will have to all tune into that.
Definitely tune into that.
Can you tell people where they can find you, follow you?
Yeah, on Instagram, it's elan.bibas. Should I spell it out?
Sure.
ELAN.BIBAS. And on TikTok, it's EMBIBAS.
Amazing. Thank you, Elan.
Thank you
This was
so
so much
much.
fun. Um, and thank you everyone for listening. Another great episode of Excuse My Grandma. We will see you next week.